Today's video has been made possible by the EA Creator Network. This video contains footage from a product in development and is not reflective of the final product. Things like gameplay, content, tuning, assets and player ratings may differ in FIFA 23. What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. An exclusive look at what FIFA Ultimate Team may look like, and also we're going to show you a live example with my controller. But there's a new formation this year and it's one of my favorite ones, the 5-1-2-2, and this is actually, I think, going to be the meta. And the reason why is because you have a CDM. It's quite rare to have a formation with a back line of 5 with a CDM. I don't think any other formation has that, not a 3-back but an actual 5-back. And there's also a new instruction called the deep lying playmaker. So we're actually going to use this formation. I'm going to go through some top tips. I'm going to show you some FIFA 23 footage. And I'm also going to show you some of the new features as well. And we're playing in Elite Division, so it's probably going to be a hard game while I try to show you as well. But fingers crossed, let's find a game right now. Okay, now we go into a game and we're going to be facing an opponent. It's Elite Division, so fingers crossed it's a good game. And you can see this is an example. Don't forget, again, this is what the player ratings may differ in actual FIFA 23. So it's going to be very, very hard. Most of these players I'm playing are pro players, actually. And we're going to go straight to that formation as well. And you can see he's actually using some of the new skill moves. You can see that's a new skill move as well. You hold the L1 button and you flick the round stick forward, backwards, and you can end up doing, I think it's called a heel to ball roll. A very, very effective skill move as well. And we're going to start off here by getting the ball with Mbappe, getting the ball with Salah. And we're going to end up using a new mechanic, which is called the power shot. For those of you that don't know, it's the L1, R1, and a shoot button, which is circled by default. And what that does basically ends up giving you a power shot, a manual shot that allows you to get a bit more accuracy and power towards a shot, but you have to aim that yourself manually. And it's going to go for the goalkeeper movement. Good goal. I think we're going to get probably destroyed this game while I show you an example. There's also some new skill moves. We're going to go over those as well. Going to use a run and jockey here. And there's also a new, don't forget, there's a new adaptive player switching. So if you want to player switch now, there's a new feature called adaptive player switching. What this makes is player switching, it makes it a bit more versatile. Previously, for example, I'm using ball relative. It was very hard for you to actually choose a player on the opposite side of the pitch. Almost impossible. Whereas now it's not. We're just going to try to get into the space here. Going to go for that new skill move. That didn't really work out. But you can see if I hold the right analog stick, you can see you get a drawing line. You can see with ball relative, you can see it follows the ball. And I can select whichever player I want to on the pitch. So it's a very, very effective feature if you want to use it to select player. I can select for my right back. So I can go like this, hold it all the way, and select whatever player that I want. Whereas last year, you were kind of just restricted on who you ever want to flick to. And that was a very, very unlucky situation, just about offside. Going to bring the ball here now, and don't forget passing. Now left stick dribbling has changed. It's now called technical dribbling, and it will be for a new generation. My best advice for technical dribbling is just dribble before you actually want to do it. So if you're playing 22, you can still dribble, and there's actually new ways you can actually dribble and kind of confuse your opponent like that. My best advice is, and I got a video on my channel, but the best advice I can give you is just pre-aim it earlier before you think so. We're going to get the ball here. Going to make a pass, and we're going to go for a low driven shot. Now as you can see, if the shot is below 40% power, guys, it ends up becoming automatically a low driven shot. So just remember, if you do a pass and it is below 40% power, it ends up becoming a low driven. That's the thing that they've changed this year as well. Going to use the run and jockey, and don't forget now with the run and jockey, depending on the player's defensive awareness, the better the defensive awareness on a player, the faster they'll move with the run and jockey. So with Neymar, for example, you can see the run and jockey is a bit more slower, whereas against Wan-Bissaka, who's got a bit better, or much better, should I say, defensive awareness, it's easier for you to move. That's why players like Van Dijk, they feel very, very effective. We are versing a pro player, so I think anyway. So expect this to be a very, very tough game while I'm trying to explain this at the same time. Let's see, hopefully we can try to do whatever we can to come back on this game while we get versus very, very tough player. I'm going to get the pass back here. We're going to do the L1 triangle. Don't forget as well, they made some changes to passing as well, which I'll go over as well. I'm going to use the run and jockey then, able to get the ball back. And there's also a new slide tackle, guys, called the hard slide tackle. And the way you do it is you press the R1 and you press square, which is by default the slide tackle button, and ends up becoming a slide tackle with a bit more vigor and velocity. And it's actually one of my favorite features. We're going to run over there, and we're going to try a new skill move over here, and it's called the explosive fake shot. If we don't get pressed over here, I think my opponent's using partial team press, which is a new mechanic as well. So you can see here we're going to get the ball to Mbappe, or try to get the ball to Mbappe shot. I'm going to force the ball to Mbappe here, just so I can show you a bit of an example here, like this, run, and then like this, run. And you can see that is the explosive fake shot. So you see how you kind of turn and you go explosively into one direction. Now this skill move, you can only do it with someone that's got above 85 acceleration and 85 sprint speed as well. So do bear that in mind. And after a 4-star skill move, so only certain players can do it, but it is so effective. Imagine just running and you get the explosive fake shot. Be careful when you're doing it as well. That's a normal slide tackle, and I'll show you now the hard slide tackle. If we do get the opportunity to do so, get the ball to Mbappe here. We're just going to run over here. Run. And we're going to use the new skill move. Well, I was about to, but the ball went out of play. Going to bring the ball back going forward. Pass, and we're going to go for the shot. And what a save that was there. And you can see with a bit of power, ended up becoming a low driven, although that was kind of like a first time shot. So do you see how that power is being used? And that is the hard slide tackle. You see that? See how you travel much more further with the distance. So I like to use it if you want to get that little bit of like extra momentum behind the ball. And you can see that's how I got the ball in the earlier situation. There's also a new goalkeeper throw, I believe. I'm now going to make that there. Good goalkeeper movement for myself over there. I'm going to use a run. And you can see with the running jockey, you can see he's much slower with someone like Neymar. Get the ball back here with Mr. Wan-Bissaka. Again, use the running jockey. And we should have to cover. So you see, we're still having defending. You can see the defensive awareness on Van Dijk is very good. So what we're doing is we can see we're maneuvering quite quickly as well. And that's how we're able to block that angle towards goal to make it very difficult for my opponent. Do a through ball over there. That was a nice interception. We're going to go here with the L1 triangle. But my opponent closed me down very well over there. We're just going to run back over here. And don't forget, there's players that have different sprint speed types. For example, Mbappe now has, and this depends on his stats. For example, Mbappe does have explosive. So that is when you get the ball, you get that initial speed boost. There's lengthy, basically. That means over time that you'd run faster. And then you have control, which is basically, I believe it's the default one. You can see Mbappe here with that explosive sprinting. And you can see that's an example of the explosive. And I'm going to go here with a chip. That was an example of the explosive sprint. So do you see that? So I use explosive sprint to get past that initial player. And then I use the explosive fake shot to get into that space. And again, only certain players do have that. The actual setting that I was talking about, by the way, was... There's actually a couple of new settings. So one of the new settings is called the pass receiver lock, and it's called the power up. And then the pass receiver is locked as soon as the pass button is released or the power bar reaches full power. This is the earliest possible receiver lock. So if you like to make a pass and let the game lock on for you, this is very effective. I like it on late because I want to pass one way. If someone cuts that passing lane out, I want to change the last minute. And this is the thing I was talking about, adaptive. The right stick switching, you can see the longer you hold the right analog stick, you can then switch it and then flick to more distant players as well. So we're going to go here. We're going to try to go forward here. We're going to do a quick 1-2. We're going to try to go with the L1 triangle here. Very nice press from my opponent. Again, you're going to hold the ball, and you can see that's one of the benefits of players like Van Dijk. You can really do feel it. We're going to go with the L1 triangle. It's going to time this to perfection. I think we're just a bit off, or we weren't actually, if the ball went through there. Going to get the ball there, pass the ball up. And we're going to try now here to use one of the new skill moves if we do get time. We're going to apply pressure. So as I said, with left stick dribbling, you have to be just a bit more careful. My best advice, left stick dribbling, as I said, is just play it slower and think about what you're doing. So the movement, as you can see, is still quite reactive. but you'd have to kind of guess pre-hand what you want to do. Not guess pre-hand, but plan it a bit earlier. But once you understand the rotations, it's actually quite intuitive to use. And what we're going to do is we're going to go with the power shot there. Now, I want to show you that example deliberately. The power shot is L1, R1, and circle. You go into a manual mode and you have to actually aim it with the left analog stick where you actually want to hit the power shot. And if you aim it, like for example, towards just ever so slightly upwards, you could actually miss the goal. But it rewards you with power to the shot, power and accuracy. So it does give you that more manual movement, so it's better. And we're going to try to run here, and you can see that's an example of the new, well, I call it instant, but it's a hard slide tackle. See how effective it is there? But yeah, going back to that power shot. So do you see that example when I used it, I was 1v1. But you see it was wrong to use it there. I used it there deliberately to show you that if you use it when you don't need to use it, it takes a long time to set up. So although you do get that kind of that ability to have more power and accuracy in a manual aim to get a more precise shot, the only downside is it takes a bit long time for the animation to kick in. You can see the screen zoomed in a little bit there. And also you can turn that off, by the way. People, in case you're wondering, when you do get the game and you do play it, you can turn off. So if you do find that a bit irritating, and I'll show you what I mean when I get the ball going forward here. Let's hopefully get another chance now. I think we've had a couple of chances that we should have scored, to be honest. And I think it would have been probably a different result. I'm going to use the running jockey here. Just because I want to get a bit more possession here, because otherwise we'll just keep passing the ball around. We're just going to apply pressure now. Get the ball back there. Get the ball going forward. Pass the ball to him. And we're going to go with an L1 triangle. Oops, well, I was going to, but I changed my mind last minute there because I saw that player. And again, you can see with Van Dijk, he'll pick up speed towards the end. Good save as well from the goalkeeper. You see the positioning of the players again is one of the most important things. That's the one thing I like about the game being more manual, is that positioning of the players is the most important thing. And players like Van Dijk are very, very effective in this game. We can see Ronaldo there. We're going to pass the ball to Llorente. And we try to, and see, that's what I meant by you have to wait a little bit with left stick dribbling. So you see there, that's an example of left stick dribbling. See how it's changed? It doesn't really react quickly as it would before. The touch is still the same. So you take the left analog stick and you take a touch and you hold it in a direction, the way that I've taught you. It's always the same. So don't, because you can see over here, you still take a touch normally. So don't be worried too much that the first touch has changed, because they haven't. I'm going to go for the shot here, and you can see when you go for a low powered shot, ends up becoming a low driven as well. So if you want to get a high powered shot, of course, you just apply power to it. And we're going to use here, we're going to use the ball relative to switch this play over there. And it's a good goal for my opponent. But you can see there is where we use ball relative, and you can see we held the right analog stick, and you can see that visual aid on the screen for you now. We're going to actually score a goal now, so this way we don't actually get embarrassed. We're going to actually get a goal here now, or at least try to. So one without showing you. I'm going to apply a bit of pressure here. And of course, you still have the normal D-pad tactics. You can still use team press and stuff like that. We're going to change formations here because this is a bit of a defensive formation that I haven't really been using, and my opponent is holding the ball very, very well. And we want to get more attackers going forward. Again, you can see he's being very, very aggressive. And look, that's another example of the slide tackle. You see that hard slide tackle? You see that ability that it does have? And that's why I think it's going to be one of my favorite features, especially if you're an aggressive defender like myself as well. And we're going to go for a goal now, so this way we don't get embarrassed, because while I'm trying to explain everything to you, we ended up missing a lot of chances. And let's see if we can try to get, I think it's a bit too late to get this to come back, but I think we will still get a couple of more chances. So let's see how much we can recover in this game. We're going to go for the quick 1-2s. That's a new skill move called the stutter feint. Left stick dribbling, as you see, still very, very fluid. Once you learn it, it is very, very effective. And we try to go for the explosive fake shot there. I tried to show you an example there of explosive fake shot. Got a bit unlucky there. I'm just going to run forward now. And I believe we play that play offside. And you can still use instant slide tackle as well. Or I keep calling it instant slide tackle. It's called the hard slide tackle. The reason why I say instant is because it instantly just makes that movement. I'm going to make that pass there now. We can see Neymar. Got a bit fortunate now. Got a bit fortunate again. Get that pass to Neymar. Beautiful first touch. Make a pass. And we're going to go for a new skill move here. which is called the stand up. So you have the jog and open up fake shot, and you also have this stand up one as well. I'm going to show you that one as well. That's another one of my favorite skill moves. You can see again coming in with the hard slide tackle. Dribbling here. Hold the ball a little bit. And you can see that's an example. We got a bit fortunate there, but you see that explosive fake shot? If that play was just a bit more that way, I would be able to cut into that space. And you can see my opponent is also doing that as well. Nice hold from the ball. I don't think I'll get one more chance. I think that's going to be game, set, and match. But that's an example of some of the new features. Hope I showed you a good example. It was a very tough opponent. We're in the lead division, by the way, in this example over here. And a lot of the players I've been playing have been pro players. So I never had really that much time on the ball to speak and play. As you can imagine, it's very difficult. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, don't forget things like player ratings and the gameplay and kit, stuff like that will be probably different in the game itself. So it's not reflective. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again, Ian, for the opportunity, and I'll catch you, of course, in the next one.